You won't bugs me, Pestie. So let's talk about how it's not even a financially good decision and what they say they send you versus what they really send you.
A fabulous bird, reborn from the ashes of its earlier life.
How dare you, insect? How dare you interrupt my ascendant?
Let's talk about Pestie again. You know, the deal where you get sent pro-grade pest control and customized subscription plans for half of what the pro charges? Now, up front, I'm going to tell you, it ain't worth it. But before I get into the details, I need to address those of you who are yelling at your phone right now about how I just don't want to lose business. Before you get your panties in a wad, why don't you do the mature thing and listen to what I have to show you? That way, if you still insist to come to the comments with stupidity, at least everyone will know you weren't beaten enough as a child. At the end of the day, buy whatever you want. That's your right. That's what makes America great. All I'm trying to do is give you more information so you can make an informed decision. Then you can find out for yourself. First thing is, are you listening, keyboard warrior, or is your mom yelling at you down the basement stairs distracting you? You can prevent pest entry into the home with Pestie. See the video link in the description for all the details in part 1 of this video. Today we're going to talk about what Pestie says is their biggest selling point: cost. The truth is, it's a terrible financial deal. Let's look at some examples. A subscription to Pestie is $55 a quarter, which is every 3 months. That comes to $220 a year. At the time of this recording, there's a deal that if you pay it all up front, you pay $140. So to be as favorable to Pestie as possible, we'll go with the cheaper number to further prove my point. So what you do is put in your zip code, and they decide what product they're going to send you based on your location and what insect you choose. So let's look at what they want to send to my zip code. They gave me a list of 6 potential products, which they'll send one for today, it's the end of June, one in October, and then March and May. Now at best, any product will last you 2 to 3 months. You see the problem yet? There's a 5-month hole there. At best, you aren't covered for 2 months in January and February. Yes, here in Tennessee, we still have pest issues in the cold months. Otherwise, my wife and kids would starve. In fact, the only time that I get ants in my house is when it snows. Of the products listed, 2 of them I would trust for 3 months. One I wouldn't trust for a full month. And the other 3, well, we'll get into that. You don't seem to have a choice as to which one they send you, and most people wouldn't have a clue what the difference would be anyway. They do say that if you aren't satisfied, they will make it right, but that effectively means sending you more product to use that didn't work the first time, and you have no idea if it is the product or the application of that product that caused the failure. Let's look at some numbers here. And again, I have chosen the most favorable to Pestie to prove my point. Advion WDG is the first one they listed. The Amazon listing comes to $18 a treatment. And that's at the higher rate, which is double the normal use. Pestie charges you $55, $35 with the current deal, for that $18 double dose. And I'll bet you soup to nuts, it's the regular dose that they send. Either way, even at the most favorable numbers for Pestie, they are charging you double what you could get if you just did it on your own. Okay, so they send you a cheap bag and a dinky wand to put the pesticide in, but you could get a better performing version that's a tank and not a flimsy bag for $20 at your hardware or big box store anywhere, and still be cheaper than Pestie. But wait, it gets worse. They also listed demand, which comes out to $4 a treatment if you bought it on your own per gallon versus Pestie's $35 to $55. Oh, and I almost forgot, they send you 1 gallon worth. What if you need more? Well, you're just crap out of luck. That leaves us with the 3 other options. They can send you Pest Home Barrier S1, B2, and B1. It's their own manufactured product. It makes sense on their end. If they make the pesticide, then they make more of the return. So I looked up the labels on these 3, and they seem to have the exact same active ingredients, so I don't know what the difference is. They don't offer the label and safety data sheets on their website, so I had to find them on the EPA's website because they have to register them. The only other way to get the label is to subscribe to Pestie. I'm assuming they send the labels and SDS with the product. I would hope. Obviously, I've not used these products because they're proprietary, but the active ingredients they're decent. Not what I would choose, but decent. Unfortunately, that doesn't give us any credible data as to the efficacy. I'll bet $1 they send you their stuff over the other stuff because it's their product and they'll make more. Makes sense. But that's not what Mr. Bugman is using. So Pestie claiming they send the same stuff we use, survey said, that was kind of a lie. So what do you get with Pestie or any of these other services like them over just buying it yourself? I guess them automatically sending it to you will remind you it's time to spray, and they choose what to send you. From Utah, 1,800 miles away from me at least, with different pests and a different climate. But I guess that answers the age-old question that everybody asks, what do I spray? So effectively, you're getting a reminder and a choice made for you at best, with a discount for double the price. Whether you go Pestie or full DIY, you still are missing the important piece of the puzzle, the knowledge of what to do when you have an infestation. That's why you hire a pro. And don't forget that Pestie doesn't cover roaches, bed bugs, and many other pests that we have here in Maryville, Tennessee, or any other city in America. Pestie compares their product to a professional service, but they don't really offer anything more than you going to buy it yourself. Sure, it's cheaper than a pro, but at least a pro will get you results. Pestie just doubles their money and sends you a product. I guarantee my margins are nowhere near that good. So you want to know what bugs me? Pestie. Just on a purely financial level, it's not a good choice. But I love to kill the bugs you tried to kill with Pestie.
Look at me.
You're killing me, Smalls.
They're dead, alright? Can I go now?
I stand upon my desk to remind myself that we must constantly look at things in a different way.